Highlights of Miles Guo's live broadcast on March 7, 2020. Coronavirus Pandemic, CCP's Mafia Style and Deception. The CCP has been showcasing its ruling characteristic of mafia style and deception in handling the coronavirus both at home and abroad. At home, the CCP ill-treats its people including officials and has caused high unreported death toll. Worldwide inquiries for the origin of the novel coronavirus have frustrated Xi Jinping and Wang Qishan, the number 1 and number 2 top Chinese Communist Party, CCP, leaders. They determined to internationalize the epidemic by deception, diplomacy and propaganda so as to cover up the truth and distract global attention. Inside China, CCP's ill-treatment of its own people and deceptive propaganda. The places with the actual highest contagious people are Wuhan and Beijing, including the official residence of the CCP top leaders. In Hubei alone at least 100,000 have died of the virus. Those who died of starvation while sealed at home and other causes are likely to be another 100,000. Miles Guo estimates that millions have been infected and more than 500,000 have died in the whole country. The government only appropriates 1 billion RMB yuan to Hubei province, the capital city of which is Wuhan the epicenter, for epidemic prevention and containment. With 58.5 million of population, each has 17 yuan, or $2.45, on average, provided the subsidy is duly delivered. In comparison, the U.S. Congress appropriates $8.3 billion, with each of its 330 million populace subsidized $25. While ordinary people and frontline medics are short of masks and food, the CCP officials have a plentiful supply. Indeed, the CCP leaders have no care for the people. Their own families, mistresses and offsprings had escaped from China before the virus eruption, to the US, Canada, Australia, the UK, New Zealand, Japan. However, the CCP's propaganda disinformed that Chinese diaspora and students are eager to return to China, and that the US begs them not to leave so as to benefit from the millions of dollars of revenue they contribute. The CCP leaders are using the epidemic to kill unwanted and rival officials. On the 6th March, a military aircraft reportedly crashed in Tianjin. It involved a PLA Air Major General. His family member was dispatched to Wuhan, contracted the virus and died. He therefore confronted Liu Guosheng, the political commissar of the PLA Anti-Biochemical Institute. Liu replied that, the first and second groups that got most contagion are the anti-biochemical troop and the PLA. Less powerful political rivals are dispatched to the epicenter risking their lives when rubbing shoulders with nurses, doctors, soldiers at the front lines. However, the propaganda has misled the public that the virus is similar to a mild ordinary cold. The medics in the epicenter are doing fine, the officials are fearless and the CCP government is concerned about the people. Around the world, losers and successors. Having failed to contain the epidemic, the CCP has viciously spread the virus and deliberately brought harm to all the world. The underpinned idea is, it is not a matter of death only to me. If I die, you die with me. Accordingly, the CCP has maneuvered diplomacy, propaganda and coercion to achieve the pandemic goal. The CCP has been successful. All human inhabited continents have virus cases. The diplomacy led by Yang Jieqi, collaborating with overseas propaganda, has fabricated and made many people believe that the virus was originated from the CIA. The CCP's primary targets to spread the virus are the strong opponents to the Belt and Road Initiative, the strategies of Made in China 2025, 2035 and 2050. These include the US, the UK, Canada, Japan, and South Korea. The CCP has successfully taken down the countries it has seriously infiltrated but still believe its propaganda. Besides Canada, Australia, and Switzerland, others include Italy, one of the strongest proponents of the Belt and Road Initiative, Iran, financially dependent on the CCP, with the virus channeled through the contacts of the military, medics and petrol industry, France, which will suffer dearly from the pro-CCP leftist Macron and the corrupt elites who have participated in the collusion and cover-up of the murder of Wang Jian, former CEO of HNA. The UK, which was brought to its knees by the coercion of the Chinese ambassador Liu Xiaoming that any strong response to the virus would trigger suspension of all Chinese investments. Japan, as Abe had been devoted to hosting Xi Jinping's visit during the sakura blooming season in exchange for Xi's support for Japan to become a permanent member of the UN Security Council, bilateral cooperation in exploring petrol gas in the East China Sea, and compromise on the Senkaku Islands. The countries that have contained the epidemic the best are the regimes that have known the CCP inside out. They are Russia and North Korea. Both were the first to close their borders with China. Russia has imposed a blanket ban on the entry of people and goods from China. North Korea warns that any Chinese who crosses the border bridge will get shot. Is the U.S. ready for the pandemic? The U.S. is not ready for coping with the virus epidemic, either politically or technically. Politically, Senators Tom Cotton and Marco Rubio, General Robert Spalding, Bill Gates and Stephen Bannon's War Room have been questioning about the origin of the virus. President Trump was very wise to impose the entry ban of those who have been to China. Nevertheless, both parties are using the epidemic to defend themselves and assault the other. Technically, first of all, the CDC, with the WHO, was negligent to the role of the P4 lab in Wuhan in relation to the virus. They failed in finding out the origin of the virus and cause of the epidemic. Their failure offered the CCP an opportunity to disseminate fabrication that the virus was made and released by the CIA. Indeed, the U.S. lost a battle to the CCP's diplomacy and overseas propaganda. Secondly, the U.S. is medically unprepared. The available beds, medical equipments and nursing force are not ready to handle the epidemic. Though aware of the epidemic, the medics haven't attached sufficient importance to its severity. Some medics even advise wrongly that mask, glove and hand wash are useless. At last, all mainstream media, the Wall Street and some elites who have been compromised by the CCP have sided with the CCP. Consequently, societal mobilization to cope with the epidemic is not activated. The government hasn't yet informed the public of the true danger of the virus. As the media, Wall Street collaboration is purposeful to prop up the stock markets, the epidemic is sidelined and thus expected to entail troubling effect. Miles Guo advises the U.S. government not to prop up the stock market and to press the CCP hard for the true data of the virus patients and the genome sequencing of the virus. What's going to happen next? In spite of the virus cases exploding, the human crisis and catastrophe caused by the CCP virus pandemic is yet to come. It will massacre human beings, crush global economy and shatter people's normal lives. The dark hours for the global economy are yet to arrive. In due course, Shanghai, Shenzhen and Hong Kong stock markets would be suspended. Dow Jones and Hang Seng indexes would both drop under 20,000. Chinese and Hong Kong currencies would fluctuate alternatively before depreciating in free fall. The worth of the real assets in New York would drop off the cliff. The price of gold would go up. All economic rates would drop by 30 to 40% at best, and by 50% generally. By then, the elites who have colluded with the CCP will get penalized for their ignorance, greediness and political dark tricks. Hong Kong is the place where it all began and will end. Every day some people get killed in Hong Kong. The police are heard bawling when violently attacking citizens, "Me the Lord, let your whole family die, let your whole family catch the virus," which have become the police's catchphrases. Within 10 months, more than 7,000 Hong Kongish, mostly youngsters, have died of allegedly suicide. Days ago, a video uploaded online showed a dead body was dropped from a high building. As usual, the police claimed it is suicidal. Hong Kong protests will be recorded as a landmark event for the demise of the CCP. Indeed, the CCP kleptocrats used to seek refuge and hide their misappropriated money in Hong Kong if necessary. Now that Hong Kong, their secret backyard, has been turned upside down, they have nowhere to escape. They truly loathe Xi Jinping and Wang Qishan. Hong Kong is why and where the CCP virus was deliberately applied and targeted. Yet the virus seemed to be subdued and have limited effect upon the tough Hong Kongish. Where the virus will end is where it began. It is when the Hong Kongish go to the street cheering, "Free from masks," with all CCP-backed running dogs gone. Hong Kong will be reborn and return to the international community. In the following 2 to 3 weeks, the world would witness the passing and self-burning of the CCP officials, the collapse of the CCP economy and global confrontation to its propaganda. At the cost of thousands of lives, the world would see clearly the CCP's mafia nature, and know the truth about the virus. Thanks for watching.